Hi, and welcome to BremSter Puzzles, a channel where I try and showcase the fun that can be had in the world of variant Sudoku. And welcome back to the Elements of Azeroth series, which is a series of puzzles we're doing based on the main elements in World of Warcraft. Now, this is being done for a couple of reasons, but the absolute main one and most important is a bit of a play around in order to promote the real elemental Sudoku project that's going on at the moment, which is the periodic puzzle project, which is chemistry meets Sudoku, which is being done by rockratzero as a Kickstarter, which will be a book of 118 Sudoku, with each one themed around one of the real chemical elements, with and each puzzle coming up with interesting facts about the chemical element that it's based on. They all look a bit like this from what we've seen. The details and link to the Kickstarter will be, or a link to the Kickstarter will be below. And that will be a book where you can get a PDF of all 118 puzzles for as little as 15 US. And then you can go up from there depending on the level of involvement you want to go to. You can even contribute to puzzles or get a puzzle made for you. All sorts of stuff is available. But I wanted to do something while the Kickstarter was running. It'll finish at about in mid-September 2025 in order to sort of stay on theme. Now, these puzzles, the Elements of Azeroth series, these have been created by people in the community, and I can say for sure none of these were made by rockratzero, but they've all been created anonymously, like with many of the Sudoku series that have been done on the channel, but none of these were created by rockratzero. So please don't use these puzzles as a judge of the quality that you're going to get from the book. I imagine the ones in the book are going to be much better. These were created quite quickly in order to have something here to promote rockratzero Kickstarter in a fun way. Please don't think they're in any way officially associated. Rockratzero does know we're doing this, but was not involved with the creation of these puzzles. So this is Elemental Water by Neptulon. Why are we doing it based on the Elements of Azeroth? Because I've been playing a lot of World of Warcraft over on my other channel, and it seemed appropriate. You do a lot of elemental stories over there. So Elemental Water by Neptulon. Link to this puzzle will also be below. It'll be actually the first link below. Let's go through the rules and then give the puzzle a try. So what do we have? Normal Sudoku rules apply. So in every box, in every row, and in every column, the digits 1 to 9 must be placed without repetition. Again, parity lines. All of these have been parity lines so far. I believe they all will be. I know there's 2 after this one, and I know one of them is because I know the person who created that one. So far all of these have been. So we've done air, earth, fire. This one is water. Then there'll be life and shadow. So digits on the water line must alternate between odd and even numbers. So if this was odd, this would be even, this would be odd, this would be even, this would be odd, this would be even, or vice versa. But they must alternate as you go along the line. And then cages. Digits in cages may not repeat and must sum to the number in the top left corner of the cage. So those digits sum to 7. These digits sum to 12, but you couldn't do these by repeating. You couldn't repeat digits in these anyway, because these have to alternate parity, and you can't make 2 of the same digit alternate. But anyway, they're the rules of the puzzle. I'm going to restart the puzzle to restart my timer. Let's give this a shot. So I'm going to start the way I've started every one of these puzzles. Well, eventually got in every one of these puzzles, and I am going to, that's a lot of 4s. I'm going to highlight those odd even. That means 4 has to be down here, but we know 4 is in the 7 cage and it's not here. Why do we know 4 is in the 7 cage? The minimum 3 digits are 1, 2, 3, which sum to 6. I'll just go through this quickly. Minimum would be 1, 2, 3. Well, actually, no, let's do this a different way because it'll be clearer. We know by Sudoku, actually, no, we don't know. We know one of those 2 is 4. Okay, so the minimum was 1, 2, 3. We need to increase one of those digits by 1 to get to 7. If we increased either the 1 or the 2 by 1, we would have duplicate digits. So we can't do that. We have to increase the 3 to a 1. Now this 4 says we can't put a 4 here, and this 4 says we can't put a 4 here. So this is the 4, and these are a 1, 2. Now, there must be a 3 in this 15 cage. Can I see this another way? I might be able to see this another way because that's quite complex logic. It's all about entropy, but there must be a 3 in this 15 cage. but I might be able to do it using the secret in this row, also known as the rule of 45 or whatever you want to call it, because I know these digits here sum to 22 plus 9, which is 33. So those two digits there have to sum to 12. And the reason for that is the entire row will contain all of the digits from 1 to 9, and therefore they will, and if you add all the digits 1 to 9, they're 45. So if the whole roll sums to 45, these minus 15 is 30, minus 7 is 23, minus 9 is 14. Did I get this wrong? 15, 22, 31. These sum to 14. Well, they can't be 9, 5. These are 8, 6. These have to be 6 and 8. And therefore, as I've proven, there is a 3 in here. These are 3, 5, 7. And 3, 5, 7 does sum to 15. But these have to be 3, 5, 7. But that means that this is an odd digit. So if that's odd, then every second digit along the line must be odd because we always alternate. So that is odd. Oh, I could have got that a different way. Sorry, that is odd. Right, no, I could do more than this, but that is odd. Sorry, I stay on the line. I came off the line for some reason. That is odd, that is odd. Those are all odd. So these are all even. Those are all even, but I know the parity of these cells and that one, because those odd plus even is odd, but the entire cage sums to an even total. So if that's odd, that has to be odd. So we've got two odds summing to an even plus an even. This sums to an odd total, but this is already an odd total. So this has to be even. We've already got all four evens in this row. So those are all odd. This is an odd total, but the cage has an even total. So to get from odd to even, I need to add another odd digit. This is already odd, but to get from odd to an odd total, I need to add an even number. Okay. That's cool. This can't be 2 or 4. This is 6 or 8. If this is 8, well, let's do these as well. Sorry, this is even. Well, this is odd. So it's 1, and therefore this is 2, which means that is even. These are all odd. Let's finish the coloring. These are all even. Okay. Ah, I've got all 4 evens in this column already. Those are odd. These are 2, 6, and 8. So this, if this was an 8, those would need to sum to 3, which would mean this would be 1 and 2, and they can't be. So that's not an 8. If this is a 6, those need to sum to 5, which would mean this is a 3 and this is a 2. And if this, so there must be a 2 in one of these, because if this is a 6, that's a 2. If this is a 2, so there must be a 2 in one of those two. If this is a 2, these have to sum to 9, which would be, could be, can't be 1, 8, could be, if this couldn't be a 1, so this is 3, 5, 3 or 5, because if this is a 2, they sum to 9. So if this is a 3, this would be a 6. If this is a 5, this would be a 4. So 9 is in one of those two. But I could do similar here, surely. Or here? Or here. How do I do this 9? Because this is 2, 6, or 8. If this is 8, this is 3. If this is 6, this is 5, and it can't be. And if this is 2, which it can't be, this is 8, 3. Which means this is 5, and these need to sum to 6. So they're 2 and 4. That takes 2 out of here. The 6, 8, oh yeah, 2, 4, yep. So this is a 6, and those need to sum to 4. So they're 1 and 3, the two smallest odd digits, and that becomes the 1, and that becomes the 3. There's no 3 here, by the way. So these, well, this is 4 and 6, so that's 2 or 8. And this is 2 or 8 because it also sees 4 and 6. 4 is down here. There is a 6 somewhere in this column. This sees 1, 3. These are from 179. This is from 159. I think I need to focus on the cages more. If this is an 8, these have to sum to 3 and are therefore... Hang on, no. The minimum these could be is 1 and 3, which... Oh, no, yeah, these would be 1 and 3. If this is an 8, these are 1 and 3. They sum to 4. If this is a 6, these sum to 6. As 2 odd digits, they'd have to be 1 and 5. There must be a 1 in here. Which means there's a 1 in one of those two by Sudoku, and this one looks across saying that's not the one, that's the one, which is odd. Okay. This is a triple. There must be a 2 in one of those. But these are 2, 5, 9, without there being a 9 in the top row. That's what I should have seen. That's the 9, which is odd, and this is a 2, 5 pair. Okay. This is a 3 by Sudoku because of these two 3s. So that's not the... these are not 3. These are 1, 5, summing to 6, and that's a 6. So in here, well, this is only 4 or 8, and this is 2, 4 or 8. Now, this can't be 4, 8, can it? Yes, it can. In fact, it probably is. If this is 4, 8, this is a 1. So if this is 8, 2, this is a 3. So this can't be 8, 2. And if this, so there must be a 4 in this. Because if there's no 4 in this, this is 2, 8, and that, sorry. Let me do this again. I got that wrong. If this is 8, 2, yeah, if this is 8, 2, this is a 3. So there must be a 4 in here. It's either 4, 2, which is 6, which makes that a 7, or it's 4, 8, which makes that a 1. This is only a 1 or a 7. Two is in one of those two, interestingly enough, because 2 can't be in any of those, and these are either odd or the other digits. So 2 is in one of those two. 6 is in one of those two. 4 is in one of those two. Ah, no, 4 can't be there. So that's 4. And that means this isn't the 4 in the cage, that's the 4. Actually, that was a bad pencil mark, but it has turned out this way. And that puts 4 right here by Sudoku. This is a 7 or a 9, and the 9 is looking down, making that a 7. Because 1, 5, 3. Oh, that's all of the odd digits. These are all even. Which means that is the 2, that is the 5, which is odd. And these are 6 and 8. That's a 6, 8 pair. This is odd, which is 9. These, well, this sees 1, 3, and 7. So this is 5 or 9. And there must be a 1 in one of those two. So these are 3, 9, because they can't be 1, 5. Or, wow, clicking things isn't doing 1, 5, or 7. Whenever there's an OBS update, it seems to be on a Mac that this problem comes up, and I don't like it. 3, however, in this box, this 3 says 3's not there. This 3 says 3's not in those. Those are even. So 3 is in one of those two, meaning that's the 9 and that's the 3. 9 is now not in any of those. So 9 is in one of these 3. I can exclude that because of the 9 here. So 9 is in one of those. which means 9 is over here in one of those, but this 9 is looking down saying not there. That's the 9, which is odd. So what is this? It's not 3 or 9. It's 1, 5, or 7. Okay, so we've got 1, 5, 7. Okay, so these have to be even because this is 1, 5, 7. That's 3 and 9 is in one of those two. So those are both even. And one of those, this is an 8, 9 pair. Because it can't be 2, 4, 6. I can't use 1, 3, 5, or 7. So the only even digit available is 8, and the only odd digit available is 9. That's an 8, 9 pair. So these are 2 and 6. Okay, what's this? Well, these are all odd. And the reason they're all odd is 8 is in one of those two, and these are all even. So this is 1, 5, 7. Ah, no, I missed this completely. Those are all 4 evens. That's an odd. So to get the final odd in this row, even in this row, it's there, and it has to be 2 or 8. So this is 2 or 8. That's all 4 evens in this box. This is odd. So this is a 7 because 1, 5, 3, 9 are placed. That's a 7. So these can't be 7 or 9. They are 1, 3, 5. There's no 5 there. And there's a 1, 3, 5 there with a 6 or an 8. That one is 1, 5, or 7. And it's not a 1. Yeah, we've got a 5, 7 pair. Probable I'm just looking in the wrong spot. Not doing Sudoku in the right place. Like this isn't a 5 and hasn't been from the very start. Nine is in one of those two because none of those can be a 9. None of those can be a 9 because of that 9, and that's even. So 9 is in one of those two. 9 in this box can't be in any of those or those. So this is a 1, 9 pair. 9 can't be in those or those, and those are filled. This is a 1, 9 pair. If that's a 1, 9 pair, this is a 5. This is a 9, which is odd. There is a 7 in one of those two. And these are 2, 7, and 8. Can I solve this? Have I done the math wrong down here? I mean, that's probable. Welcome to my channel. I'm making a mistake again. Oh, this 2 is looking down saying that's not the 2. So that's the 2 and that's the 6. And they're the even digits and that's the odd digit, which is not 1, 3, 5, or 9. That's the 7, meaning this is not the 7. That's the 7. So we've got odd and even. That's a 2. These are all even. So these are both odd. That's all 5 odds down here. So this is even, which is 2, 6, or 8 without being a 2. This is a 6 or an 8. That's a 6, 8 pair. No, that's not doing it. This is not 3, 7, or 9. So this is 1 or 5, and the 5 is looking across, making that the 1. So this has to be the 5 because of the column, which means that's the 7, that's the 1. 1 and 4 is 5, so that has to be the 8, making that the 2, that the 6, that the 8, which makes that the 6, which makes that the 2, that the 8, that the 2, which makes that the 8, that the 6, looking across, making that the 8, that the 6, that the 8, that the 6. 2 and 2 and 2, 8 is in one of those two. This is a 6, 8 pair because 6 can't be in any of those. And 8 can't be in any of those. So this is actually a 6, 8 pair, which is good for making them all even, and this odd. No, odd. Which is all 5 odds. This is even, which is the 2. These are all odd. The 1 looks across, making that the 5 and that the 1. What are these? These are 1, 5, and 7. The 7 says not there. The 6 is looking up, making that the 8 and that the 6. The 8 looks down, making that the 9 and that the 8. I can keep colouring at this point because I'm done. This is the 1, this is the 9. The 1 says that's not the 1. The 1 looks up, making that the 5, taking 5 out of those. The 1, 7 means this is the 3. There's no 3 here. These are 5, 7. This is the 3. The 5 looks up, making that the 7 and that the 5. The 3 looks down, making that the 1, taking 1 out of those. The 5, 7 looks up, making that the 1 and that the 7. This is the 3 that hasn't been put in the row, and the 7 makes that the 5 and that the 7. And that is the correct solution to Elemental Water by Neptulon. That's another really nice puzzle. Parity Lines, never done a parity. We did a entire parity pack, and there were a couple of Parity Lines puzzles, but I've never really looked into Parity Lines in a big way. This is a lot of fun. I'm enjoying this. I played around with Parity Diamonds for a while, a couple of years ago, but I'm really enjoying Parity Lines. This is good. Yeah, this is fun. Yeah, nice little mini pack exploring a constraint. And it's come up with some really nice little thematic puzzles, which is always good when your puzzle packs can have a good theme that fits. Really good fun stuff. Hopefully you're enjoying them all. You're getting new puzzles. How could people complain? Thanks everyone for watching. Couple more to go. Hope you enjoy them when they come out, which will be the next couple of days. And as always, good luck with your solving.